Q106.7 weather.
Here's your KQNK forecast. Ample sunshine expected with fog in spots early today with daytime highs approaching 93. Winds out of the east around 5 miles per hour. Lows around 67 tonight. Clear skies. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 94. Mainly clear skies Friday with highs around 92. 83. Slight chance of thunderstorms Saturday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Laura Lockwood. Currently, it's 60 degrees.
This Kansas Information Network update is brought to you by Eaton Roofing and Exteriors.
I'm Britton Rucker, and here are today's top headlines from 12 News. The Wichita City Council approves permanent changes to lawn watering rules. Those take effect September 15th. The city says those changes are necessary because Cheney Lake may not remain full during stretches of extreme drought. The city of DeSoto will consider $50 billion in an incentives package to lure a data center project. If approved, the facility would be built near the new Panasonic plant. The city council will take up the issue during a meeting tomorrow night. And the state of Nebraska will open an ICE detention center not far from Kansas. We learned about 280 detainees will be held at what's being called the Cornhusker Clink in far southwest Nebraska. And in Wichita, Britton Rucker, 12 News.
You're listening to the Kansas Information Network.
Staying connected is important in today's world. Whether it's hearing the news of a new baby in the family or calling work to let your boss know you're running late, phone service keeps you connected with your world. At AT&T, we know that some Americans face life every day without the comfort and security of having phone service. In certain areas, you may be able to reduce your phone bill with a Lifeline discount if you are in a qualifying low-income household. Additional discounts of up to $25 may be available to those living on federally recognized tribal lands where AT&T offers Lifeline. To find out more about Lifeline and other AT&T products and services, call us at 800-377-9450 or go to att.com/lifeline if you have access to the internet.
Lifeline is a government benefit program, and willfully making false statements to obtain this benefit is punishable by fine or imprisonment and could result in termination of Lifeline service. Lifeline enrollment requires certain eligibility documentation and is non-transferable. Limited to one discount per household. AT&T services, including Lifeline, are not available in all areas. Other restrictions apply.
Good morning. I'm Natalie Hadley with your KQNK News. Brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, serving all of your chemical and fertilizer needs. The Kansas Department for Children and Families announced in an August 14th letter to the U.S. Department of Agriculture that the agency is standing behind its decision at this time to not release the personal information of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, applicants, recipients, and members of their households. The USDA's data request is for the purpose of creating a federal database of SNAP participant information that may be disclosed to other entities, and it's unclear whether those entities are legally allowed to access that information. This comes after an August 12th letter to Kansas Governor Laura Kelly from Patrick Penn, the USDA Deputy Undersecretary, stating that the USDA Food and Nutrition Services, or FNS, has not received Kansas's participation data. In its most recent letter, the Department for Children and Families has asked the USDA to withdraw its demand until pending litigation is settled, as this could put the Department for Children and Families in potential liability should a court find the USDA's demand violates federal law. The requested data includes sensitive personal information for more than 730,000 Kansans who lived in a household that applied for and or received SNAP benefits from January 1st, 2020 to July 30th, 2025. It includes, but it's not limited to, names, social security numbers, dates of birth, and addresses, and in addition to personal data of Kansas citizens, the request includes retailer and business data documenting SNAP usage. Providing this amount of requested data is not as simple as running a system report, as the data must be pulled from multiple data sources and validated. While the exact cost of providing the requested data is not yet known, the Department for Children and Families anticipates that with the amount of time this request would likely require, it could cost Kansas taxpayers $100,000 or more, depending on the frequency to provide the data as requested by the USDA. The Department for Children and Families will monitor the pending litigation and continue to administer and enforce SNAP in accordance with federal and state law. The Kansas Water Office announced the opening of its 2 grant programs, the Technical Assistance Fund grants and Water Projects Fund grants. And the grants were made possible by increased funding to the State Water Plan Fund with Senate substitute for House Bill 2302, which is a bipartisan bill signed by Governor Kelly from the 2023 legislative session that increased funding for the State Water Plan Fund and established these 2 grant programs. The grant programs provide funding for upfront technical assistance and on-the-ground actions needed to address water quantity and quality issues around the state, and these funds are generally directed to supporting water-related infrastructure projects. The Technical Assistance Fund grants seek to provide funding for planning, engineering, managing, and other technical assistance that may be necessary in the development of plans for water infrastructure projects and processing grant and loan applications for such water infrastructure projects. The Water Projects Fund grant provides funding for construction, repair, maintenance, or replacement of water-related infrastructures and any related construction costs, matching monies for grant or loan applications for water-related infrastructure projects, and application of the funds to outstanding loan balances from certain funds. Eligible applicants include municipalities and special districts related to water organized under the laws of Kansas. The applications are open now through September 30th, and for more information on the application criteria and process, and to learn more about the Kansas Water Office, you can visit kwo.ks.gov. On Tuesday, Governor Kelly announced the return of the annual Governor's Conference of Aging, and the single-day in-person event will be held October 17th at the Kansas State University Alumni Center in Manhattan, Kansas. The theme of the conference is Rooted in Respect, Growing an Age-Friendly Kansas. Governor Kelly said ensuring an age-friendly Kansas is crucial to the well-being of older Kansans, our communities, and our state as a whole. So she's pleased to announce the return of this annual event to bring together health professionals, policymakers, educators, and community leaders to exchange ideas and collaborate on how to better serve older adults in Kansas. The conference will highlight several key collaborations and projects that support aging in Kansas, including the new state plan on aging, the Kansas 4M Geriatrics Workforce Enhancement Program, or GWEP, the Multi-Sector Plan for Aging Learning Collaborative, and the Age-Friendly Kansas Initiative. And this initiative brings together state agencies along with organizational leaders and community members across multiple sectors to identify and address the needs of older Kansans. For general inquiries, you can visit conferenceinfo at khi.org. In Nebraska news, in McCook on Tuesday, a protest was organized on Facebook after news circulated that an immigration detention center was coming to McCook. The organizer, Hannah Clapper, said the goal was to give people a safe place to express how they feel in front of the man making the decision, Governor Jim Pillen, with Clapper saying that she feels that the community didn't have much of a choice or even a say-so in this at all. Protesters met at the Ben Nelson Regional Airport 30 minutes before the anticipated arrival of Pillen's plane, holding up signs with the hope that he would notice their messages. The plan is that the work ethic camp will be turned into an Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention facility called the Cornhusker Clink, and officers hope to expand the facility so it can house up to 300 migrants. Clapper said she's worried about the risks a facility like this could bring to a small community like McCook, as a lot of people move there because they want to be safe and they want to be away from the city. Clapper noted that many inmates have escaped from the work ethic camp, and so she worries that the same could happen with the detainees, even if they may not be dangerous. She said a handful of people in support of the facility were also at the airport, although most did not have signs. And she said that she respects their voices, too, because she's not trying to encourage anyone to believe something that they don't believe. She just wants people to come together and think about the change that this is going to make. 21-year-old Drayden Romich of Holdridge has been charged in Kearney County Court with first-degree sexual assault of a minor and child abuse, and this is his third charge after being charged in 2 other counties. He was charged in Nuckolls County and Phelps County with first-degree sexual assault, third-degree sexual assault, and possession of a visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct. Affidavits detailing the cases have been sealed. However, complaints outlining the charges shows the alleged crimes occurred between May 2024 and May 2025 and involved 3 separate victims. Court records said the victims were between the ages of 12 and 16. In a news release in June, Phelps County Attorney Corey O'Brien said the investigation suggests that initial interactions with the underage victim in the Phelps County case began through social media applications, escalating to the sharing of photos and videos, and eventually led to a sexual encounter. A warrant for Romich's arrest in the Kearney County case was issued on Monday, and his next court date is set for August 27th in the Phelps County case and September 15th in the Nuckolls County case. I'll be back with more in just a moment.
Firebolt Ag is a full-service fertilizer and chemical retailer. They customize products for individual farmers' needs, with the primary focus being customer profitability. Let Josh and Jack help you get the most out of your farm ground. They also provide in-house marketing with Ron Wall of Flatwater Solutions. Visit Ron in Phillipsburg or call Josh at 785-854-8484 or Jack at 308-840-2819. Firebolt Ag, your leader in agriculture.
U.S. Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas, a member of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry, joined Senators John Thune of South Dakota, Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, and Tina Smith of Minnesota in introducing the Conservation Reserve Program, or CRP, Improvement and Flexibility Act. The legislation would bolster CRP by improving access to grazing, maximizing enrollment options for producers, and expediting emergency haying in response to drought and other weather-related disaster events. Senator Moran said equipping farmers and ranchers with improved access to CRP resources is crucial to the sustainability of the agricultural economy in Kansas. He said this bipartisan legislation grants greater flexibility for producers in Kansas and across the country to improve their economic stability while conserving our nation's farmland, wildlife habitats, and water supply for future generations to benefit from and enjoy. According to the unofficial minutes of the Norton County Economic Development meeting that was held on August 12th, the Norton County Economic Development Board met at 5:45 p.m. at the Economic Development Office, and the meeting was called to order by John Griffiths. The members present included Andrew Black, Wally Burton, Curtis Everly, John Griffiths, Aaron Hale, Dell Jacobson, Marvin Matchett, Sam Nicholson, Julie Peterson, and Dick Thompson, along with the Executive Director, Dallas Goslin, Amy Levine, the Administrative Assistant, and 4 members of the public. With the comments from the public regarding requests for letters of support for the EICI home loan program, both of which the board approved to provide. The July meeting minutes were then approved. For the first topic of old business, the director provided an update for the east site development. He addressed the dirt that had been moved and advised that it was likely to be distributed primarily to the landfill, the upcoming child care facility, and possibly the Kansas Department of Transportation. He also advised that the project was a few days ahead of schedule, pressure tests had been performed and were well above requirements, and it will conclude with streets starting before long. Dallas then moved onto the topic of child care and relayed that he had met with the board of a local daycare provider to discuss various aspects of the upcoming facility and was able to provide some insights regarding funding options and timelines, etc. The director began new business by opening a discussion about the developer revolving loan fund and the down payment assistance programs. He advised the board that he thought it may be more beneficial to move a portion of the RLF to the DPA program, as it's far more frequently used and would be of greater benefit to the community. After some questions probing further into the details, a motion was made and passed to move a portion of the funds. Next, Dallas proposed using a grant writer to submit a grant request for the child care project, and a motion was then made and passed to do so. He then advised the board about the Network KS Eat Community quarterly meeting and the various updates that he received. Finally, the director advised the board that he was assisting an officer with the Norton County Sheriff's Department to submit a grant that would allow them to receive a necessary communications upgrade, improve their ability to efficiently communicate with other law enforcement agencies throughout the state. With no questions regarding the director's report and no further business to conduct, the meeting was then adjourned at 6:14 p.m. Your menu today for Eisenhower Elementary School: for breakfast, for lunch you'll be having scalloped chicken, corn, sweetheart pears, cucumber slices, and milk. For Norton Community High School and Junior High, for your lunch today you'll be having taco burrito or pizza bar with fruit, cookie, and milk. And for Northern Valley Schools, your lunch today will be sloppy joes, bun, French fries, California blend, mixed fruit. I'm Natalie Hadley. Your KQNK News was brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, farmers helping farmers to succeed. You can contact Firebolt Ag today to get the most out of your farmland. Your KQNK weather forecast is being brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, your Norton experts for all of your pest control needs. Your forecast for today, there's some patchy fog before 9 a.m. Otherwise, it's going to be sunny with a high near 93 with a calm wind that should become east around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. For tonight, it should be mostly clear with a low around 67 and a south wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Thursday, it should be sunny with a high near 94 and a south wind around 5 miles per hour. And on Thursday night, it should be mostly clear with the low around 66. I'll be back with the rest of your forecast in just a moment.
When you got bugs, we know what a nuisance that can be.
Lock 'em out. From Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, Lock 'em Out is our very effective residential insect prevention program. We'll come to your place and treat your foundation plus all insect entryways. And while we're there, receive a free termite inspection. Call Mr. Rich Wenzel, our certified technician in Norton, at 785-202-0167. That's 202-0167.
Continuing with your weather forecast, on Friday it should be sunny with a high near 92. On Saturday, there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms before 1 p.m. Otherwise, it'll be mostly sunny with a high near 82. On Sunday, there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms before 1 p.m. Should be partly sunny with a high near 76. On Monday, there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high near 72. And on Tuesday, there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high near 68. Currently, with fair skies, it is 63 degrees. The humidity is 93%. The wind speed is west at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 30.19, and the dew point is 61 degrees. Your weather was brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control right here in Norton. You can call Hinkle Termite and Pest Control at 785-202-0167 for all of your pest control needs. It is 8:21. It's time for Kansas Sports. That's being brought to you by United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything they do for you.
Save more, earn more with the Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union. Enrollment in this program automatically rounds up the amount of all debit card and share draft purchases made from your checking account to the next whole dollar and deposits into the Easy Saver savings account. Not only will this account help you save, but it also earns 2.01% APY monthly. Special terms and conditions apply. Come in today and open your Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything we do for you. NCUA insured.
KIN Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis. Bill Self is adding an experienced college basketball coach to his staff following the departure of assistant coach Chase Buford to the Denver Nuggets of the WNBA. KU had an open spot on the bench. Self is tabbing current Washington assistant coach Tony Bland to fill the same role on his staff. Bland spent the 2024-2025 season on Danny Sprinkle's coaching staff at Washington, his first college basketball job since 2017. Bland was previously an assistant coach at USC between 2013 and 17, where he worked under head coach Andy Enfield. Bland was a part of the FBI investigation into corruption in college basketball. Bland was one of 10 individuals who were arrested as part of the FBI probe. According to a story in the Associated Press in 2019, Bland pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery and admitted to accepting $4,100 in cash to, quote, steer players at the school to certain financial advisors and business managers, end quote. The plea took place in 2019. He had a 3-year show clause penalty from the NCAA, which expired in the spring of 2024. A month later, he was hired by Danny Sprinkle. Kansas Information Network Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis.
We arrived at the scene, and the job, like everyone before, was executed flawlessly, leaving us with more questions than answers. It was time to bring in the big guns. You don't mean? Yeah, John Deere Bale Documentation. All the data, one location. It was the answer to everything. Visit johndeere.com/Bale Documentation for more information.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Philip Eisenhagen. Together we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 418 East Holm here in Norton or call 877-3373. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.